Because I'm not really I'm not even a big fan of Brunson and Mitchell. I don't think small backcourts really work. But I think if you had if you had to gamble on it, you gamble on Donovan, who is a proven star, instead of Quickley, who might be a star.
For sure, but I feel like you tanked IQ's value by making him a bench player, lowering his minutes from last season.
Grimes fit better next to Brunson.
Wait, hold up. I don't understand this. Quickley wasn't traded for the value that he's supposedly is, right? Because for one, let's just answer the question. What do the Knicks need more, a backup point guard or a wing defender?
A wing.
Fuck all that. Who's going to get more money in this offseason, OG or Quickley?
OG.
So where's
teams around the league will value OG
way more.
But IQ's
no
still a young player.
No, I'm not saying he's not a young player. I mean, OG's 26 years old. I mean, OG's 26.
He's still young.
He's still what he is.
I'm fine.
I'm saying he is what he is.
I'm fine with the fit, but you couldn't have found something else instead of IQ.
I mean, what is something else though?
No, I have the issue was Knicks fans are saying, well, IQ's walking
anyway. That's bad.
IQ's probably been, I mean, with Mitch hurt, your third best player.
The reason why Knicks fans said
1,000%
the reason why Knicks fans said Immanuel Quickley is walking anyway is because the expectation was that a team was going to offer him a contract
more than what the Knicks are going to pay.
More than what the Knicks wanted to get. All season long last year, did you not believe Grant Williams was probably going to walk?
Yeah.
That's the same feeling Knicks fans got with Immanuel Quickley.
And Grant Williams to Immanuel Quickley.
But y'all wouldn't even paid him what the Dallas paid him. Y'all wasn't giving him that.
We got seconds for him.
Yeah, y'all wasn't going to pay him that money. We got like 11 million.
If you're the Knicks, you're not paying
him
22 to 25?
I probably would.
Okay.
But it's something that I don't feel very comfortable with. Because if we pay Immanuel Quickley that money, that means that RJ Barrett, Quickley, Brunson, and Randall are all getting 20+ mil a year. And once Immanuel Quickley gets a contract of that value, it now becomes harder to trade him. It's going to be way harder to trade a contract of 20 to 25 billion more than it is what he's getting right now.
If you're going to get a star, that's fine. That contract's fine because that star is going to be on a $40 million contract.
We have contracts to already cancel out those deals. Okay. Before you go, Riff.
And also, you mismanaged his minutes terribly.
That's why he needed to go.
First of all, the Knicks.
No, you shouldn't.
It's either the coach or the player.
First of all,
we know who
first
it is.
of all,
I'm not going to hate on Tibbs.
The Knicks needed a defender more than they needed a bench scorer. That's number one. Mm-hmm. That's why OG Anunoby is valuable.
Agreed.
OG's value across the league, what was it from all the reports that we have garnered?
First.
3 first-round picks.
I would have took
but that was last year when Toronto actually had leverage. This year, their leverage really was limited.
That's true, but listen, the initial value for him was teams were willing to give up 3 first-round picks for him.
That's last year. I feel like it's different this year.
Even if it's this year. Mm-hmm. This year, at minimum, I think it's 2 firsts for OG, given what he provides. I mean, he's one of the 5 best defenders at the wing position. That's extremely valuable. RJ Barrett, in my opinion, is a negative asset. Not only because as a player he's average, but the contract in which you're paying him for a couple years matters. Immanuel Quickley, I think, can fetch a first-round pick. So, in my opinion, you traded Immanuel Quickley a first-round pick and a second-rounder and a player that you wanted to get off his contract anyway for a legitimate elite defensive wing, which that's what you need more.
Agreed.
I think, if anything, this move set up the Knicks to now further down the line, because reports have said that the Knicks don't think a star will be available until next summer. This now puts you in a position to, once you get a star, you're more established as a team because you'll have a defender around whatever star you get. And we still have players that we can match contracts with. Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, Evan Fournier, Quentin Grimes is a young player. And that's an underrated part of this about this trade.
Kept Grimes.
Quentin Grimes has not been in a role that suited him. With Immanuel Quickley gone, there is now going to be a role opened up for somebody to be an initiator off the bench. That can be Quentin Grimes. And Quentin Grimes can strengthen his value right now by taking on IQ's role. I don't think he'll be as good at it because IQ was amazing in it, but I think Quentin Grimes can give you 12+ points a game, can be a solid playmaker, can play great defense, and now he's somebody who you can use in a deal for another player.
I think in this situation, that opportunity is going to be given to OG Anunoby. I think OG Anunoby is going to take a lot of offensive responsibility. No. Off the bench, QG is going to play. QG is going to play. He's going to start.
OG is going to be what he...
OG's main issue in Toronto was that he was not getting the offensive freedom.
That's his...
Well, he wasn't able to show it.
No,
now in New York, he's going to be able to.
They gave an opportunity early on, and he cannot.
I feel like we know what OG is.
I mean,
OG's a great cutter,
he's
a
only
spot-up
gotten
shooter,
better
and an elite
in the
defender.
last couple of years. He's an elite defender for sure. Can knock down the 3-ball pretty fucking
good
efficient.
spot-up
OG was brought in to play defense and hit open threes. That's all he was brought in to do.
I feel like then that's a bad trade. That's a bad move.
You're getting one of the best
what type of
defenders
star?
in the
What
league.
type of star you going to get?
But
with
another
RJ
and another
Quickley?
question.
RG Quickley and picks, all the picks, whatever picks you want.
But like, what star was going to get you that? Cleveland, no, because they already have Garland.
I got a question. If this is
Philly, they already got Maxey.
if this is IQ and RJ in a second round pick for like Jaden McDaniels, do we view this any
he's
differently?
much younger.
He is.
than,
He is much younger, but I'm saying like the role aspect. I mean, you're getting one of the 5 best defenders in the world at their position. I think that's insanely valuable.
I'm fine with the Knicks getting OG Anunoby. I said that when I opened.
As much as I love Immanuel Quickley, per 36, 22, and 4 this year. He's a great microwave scorer.
It's really good.
The playmaking can improve
Off the
significantly.
bench is insane.
Last year,
too.
23-5 when he started. Look, I think Immanuel Quickley, of course, I 100% know he will flourish in Toronto. When I look at Quickley, do I look at somebody that has a Tyrese Maxey type leap in them or even an Anthony Simons type leap? I don't. I think he's a tier below those players. There's a gap between him and those guys because those guys are far more athletic.
That's
He's
unfair,
also a better
though.
defender than those guys.
And how much opportunity
Like
was
a
Anthony
far
and Maxey
away.
given?
Like he's not going out there.
Yeah, I think the opportunity will really decide what type of tier he's in, because I think all those guys was gifted opportunities to show themselves.
Yeah,
and Quickley is a better all-around player, I think, than Simons in terms of offense.
How is it that
and
Quickley
defense.
got better this season and has less minutes than last season? That should not be.
Tibbs has been
I mean, you could get better and still have less minutes. You
I don't
get
think
better.
he should be cutting his minutes.
That's
so he's
ridiculous.
23.
No,
But
I'm not saying that they should be cutting his minutes, but I'm saying
But that's
you
why he
can
had to
tell
go.
the
And are you
players
good
getting better.
with giving OG 30, 35 million?
I wouldn't pay neither one of them, but it opens up
But
flexibility.
now you got to pay OG.
Nah,
No,
it
you just handcuffed to giving him whatever OG wants.
No, that's not true.
So OG
How is
can
that
walk,
not
and you're
true?
fine
You
with
don't
that.
have to pay OG.
Huh?
So you're going to trade Quickley, trade RJ the second round pick, and
Riv,
let
that's
OJ walk
ridiculous.
after
You just
4
got
months?
off of RJ Barrett's contract. And then you don't have to pay Quickley. Now, next summer, you will have more money than what you were originally going to have.
Are they going to have enough for a max spot?
Yes,
but
they
who?
will,
But
because
who's
Randall's
going?
contract will also be up.
So, but if you're saying that, then it needs to be 100%.
But that's what they're banking
Donovan's
on.
going.
It's not just Donovan. It's going to be so
It's
many
not just
stars in that
Donovan.
offseason.
The Knicks don't think a star is available until next summer. I think there could be a star available depending on what happens in the playoffs. We
And
just
I think
don't know right
Fournier's
now.
contract will be up by next year, too. They're going to have a lot of guys.
Right now,
up.
they would have $12 million in cap space for 2024, 2025.
And also, I just
No,
want to say
that's
this:
cap.
This is what Spotrac is telling me.
Oh, then they're fucked.
we're not fucked. Listen, OG Anunoby, I think
you just handcuffed yourself to
the
sign him.
market is going to
don't
be
think
what
so.
the market is for him. If we sign him back, I think we will sign him back. I think it would be to a reasonable deal. You have to understand, on every single team, you need a defensive stopper like that. And not only that, but I think given that OG Anunoby is 26 years old right now, is 26 or 27, one of those. Even if you pay him, he's still going to have value across the league. I don't think if you're paying OG Anunoby, I think you can, if in a year from now things don't work out, I think he will still hold value to at least fetch 2 first-round picks on the open market for a contending team.
I'm looking at it now. You said the 24-25 season, that's where you feel like the Knicks will make their most moves. Now,
They can.
Brunson has the player option. He's going to opt out. You're left with no choice but to extend Brunson and give him whatever contract.
And
that
Or
that
he can,
contract's
or
gonna
he
be
can opt
40
in.
mil.
Or
He's not opting in.
Why would he opt?
He's
He
not
can-
opting in.
Hold up. He can get an extension. He
could.
can opt into that and get an extension.
But why would I want to wait on my 40 mil when I get my 40 mil right now?
He can get an extension, this offseason?
Here's another thing.
Because it'll be he'll get the same amount of money regardless.
Randall also
For
has
1
a
year,
player
he gets
option
29
in
or
that same
whatever it is.
offseason.
24.
Is Randall going to turn down $32 million? Do you think that he'll get more from another team? I don't know.
Randall, I don't think Randall's going to go. I don't agree with Riv, but I don't agree with you either because, I mean, okay, if I have a player option and a team wants to extend me, I can opt into that player option and I can get an extension. And now all I did was give myself $25 more million. If he opts out of the player option and he gets a 4-year extension, what's the difference between opting in and getting that 4-year extension?
Because
he's just getting more money.
You get the pay raise immediately.
But also,
if you opt out, you get the pay raise then. If you opt in, you get the 25
What you're saying is
the
fine.
money's guaranteed
But
regardless.
what James Harden tried to do
later.
this year with what the deal was with Moore, he say, hey, you opt in, we'll sign you to an extension. They didn't sign him to the extension and kind of fucked over James Harden.
I know what you're saying, but Jalen Brunson right now is 28 years old, I believe. So let's say he opts out.
Is it?
I think 27.
Let's say
Jalen Brunson's 28, going to be 29.
Let's say he opts out and he gets a 4-year extension this offseason.
Was he 4-year college?
Yeah.
Let's say he gets a 4-year extension this offseason. That means he's going to be a free agent at 32, 33 years old as a smaller guard.
Probably cooked.
I mean, what's the market going to be from where he can opt in, get that same extension from the Knicks, and all he's doing is adding. He's just getting more money.
No, just to make sure we're clear on this, at his opt out, because he has to play this year, year 2. He has to play next year, so he would be 30 years old. Then that's when he's out. He can opt out at 30.
As long as Brunson
and Randall
gets,
too.
Randall Brunson have a player option for next offseason.
That's what I'm saying.
Fournier has a team option, if I'm not mistaken.
As long as Brunson gets an extension,
because you're
he'll opt in.
handcuffed to extending Brunson.
No,
And that's not a bad
you're
thing.
gonna extend
That's a good
Brunson.
thing.
You're gonna extend
you have
Brunson.
to.
But
But
that's
don't
what I'm
think that
saying.
discount
Brunson.
you just got. You're not getting that
If
25
Randall
years.
is opting in.
You think so?
Randall is not going to decline that.
Do you
because
think
how much is it?
Do you think
It's
he
32
thinks
and a
he's
half.
going to get more money?
If he declines,
That's
he
why
could
I
sign
say
a
that.
If
I
he
don't
thinks he's going to get more money, he would decline that.
Do you think he'll get more money? I personally don't.
On an annual basis, probably not, but over 4 years.
Randall will opt into that deal.
He's going to opt in.
I don't know. If he thinks, I'm not saying.
then all I mean-
I know what you're
If he
saying.
thinks he's going to get more money on
I
the market,
agree.
he would decline.
But my whole point is, if me and you are on the assumption he's opting in, then that's less money that the Knicks have to make deals, which is my main argument.
Okay.
Because you have to extend Brunson. You're gonna have Jalen. You're gonna have, Randall opt into his contract. Who are you going to be able to sign, especially if you're going to sign OG Anunoby to a $30, $35 million deal?
I mean, yes,
signing trades are still available.
Listen, I understand what you're saying. All I'm saying is that, for one, Brunson will opt into his deal as long as he gets an extension. Julius Randle, the same thing happened where when we first signed him to the Knicks, he had a player option in the 3rd year, I believe. Mm-hmm. We extended him, and he accepted the player option. So as long as we extend the player, there's no reason for them to decline it if we're giving them the money that they're fetching on the open
market. If Brunson gets extended this offseason, he'll be fine.
There's no reason. So he'll still be under that salary. I don't think the Knicks move is going to come via free agency. And also, there aren't, in this modern age, superstars just available via free agency. That rarely happens. When you go get a superstar, it's always going to be with a trade. So I think with those
majority of the time.
I mean,
now,
Kawhi Leonard was a trade. Or no, he signed with the Clippers.
Signed
Paul George was a trade. Anthony Davis was a trade.
LeBron's all his big moves have been through free agency.
Well, he's a very rare case.
Kevin Durant was free agency.
Durant
He
was
just got
no
traded
to the Warriors.
Signing trade.
But you understand what I mean? Going to the Warriors, that's one of the biggest free agency moves ever.
Dame was just a trade.
True. Was a trade.
So like,
but he was signed into a long-term deal.
Most are going to be trades.
How many superstar players?
So I can read them to you if you want here.
Well, this upcoming free agency class, you got some superstars.
So I'm only going to the 24-25, which is what you guys told me.
Next year.
Correct. So Paul George, Kawhi Leonard both would be unrestricted free agents, but apparently it says bird rights that the Clippers would have.
It's a player option.
Sign him, go over the salary cap.
Unrestricted Drew Holiday. Player option, Donovan Mitchell, he'll opt out. Jason Tatum, he'll have a player option, he'll opt out. Jimmy Butler has a player option for $52.4 million.
$52 million?
Yeah, $52.4 million.
I'm telling you, he's gonna opt out. He's gonna Miami's gonna get 60. Yeah.
Kyrie Irving has a player option for $43 million. Will he opt out?
This offseason?
Next year.
That's next offseason.
No, next year.
2025.
So
Yes.
a year from now.
Correct.
2 years from now.
Yes.
2025 offseason.
Because that's the one that you guys told me is the one that we have to look out
the
for.
better one.
I'm saying this summer.
But this summer is only Pascal.
No, this is Kawhi.
This is
if
what
they
I'm-
decline.
Hold up. We got to stop looking at free
If
agents.
PG and Kawhi decline this year, they are free agents.
This is the disconnect. You're looking at free agents. The Knicks just believe that there might be a star player available this summer. For instance, let's just, under the hypothetical, the Sixers flame out in the playoffs again. Mm-hmm. Do they run it back with Embiid? We don't know.
It's definitely possible.
What happens if the Dame and Giannis pairing don't work? Adrian Griffin gets fired, and they're handcuffed to, because the Bucks are essentially an old team, and they're handcuffed. Could Giannis want out? That's a possibility. all the top 10 players in the league right now, maybe outside of like one or two, are on long-term deals. So the only way, and I think that's the only player that the Knicks can get that will actually put them in contention.
The thing is, I feel like you're trying to rush. Why are the Knicks trying to rush this process?
The thing is, Brunson is 28. Julius, like all these guys are not
modern
not
medicine and Jalen Brunson's play style. He still has years.
The Clippers starting 5 will be free agents this year. Not their best.
Well, you have to pick a direction.
I'm looking
Kawhi,
at it now because
Harden,
LeBron has
PG. They will all opt out.
Yep.
And then Embiid could become available.
Is PG going to opt out?
Yeah, for sure.
He should.
49
They're probably going to opt out and stay with the
guaranteed
Clippers, though.
bread. Yeah,
I think they're going to opt out and give
You
them more.
have, you have to pick a direction if you're a team.
In Milwaukee, I don't think. I think Giannis, he just signed that little small extension. I think they'll stay another year.
At least another
But that's what I'm saying.
I'm looking at this year's too. You mentioned Paul George and Kawhi both have player options. LeBron, let's not even mention that. Klay Thompson's unrestricted. Tobias, James Harden, Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, we didn't
None
have
of
to name
them
the
move
rest
the
of this.
needle.
Drew Holiday has a player option. Probably
He'll accept.
DeMar DeRozan.
None of these guys move the needle.
And you're mentioning Joel Embiid. That is just best case scenario.
But that's what
Hands and knees praying.
That can happen.
Could it happen? I don't know.
I mean, this is just scenarios that could happen. I mean, ultimately, if you're a team, you have to pick a direction. The Knicks right now are closer to being a highly competitive playoff team than they are being a tanking team that got to get a top pick.
Mm-hmm.
So this move was them picking a direction. Okay, OG and Anunoby adding a wing defender stopper gets us one step closer to the ultimate goal. It's not the move that's going to bring it. It's not the move that's going to bring us there.
He's in the what?
I think Joel Embiid is legitimately
you
in the
never know.
cards.
So now without IQ, now without RJ, what's the package?
Randall, Grimes,
Fournier, and all the picks you want.
and then a shit ton of picks.
Yuck.
The picks are more
But
valuable than Quickley.
That's what most trades are going to
The
be.
picks are literally more valuable than Quickley.
I'm not saying the picks are not more valuable. The picks are going to be the
you got
main
Grimes.
catalyst to the trade.
So you think if,
IQ Grimes is not
next
a
to
bad
Maxey
player.
is better than Quickley next to Maxey.
For the size, I don't mind
if the
that.
Sixers, the package that he's mentioning is better than RJ and Quickley.
But the thing is,
Randall's better than all those guys.
If I'm the
And that still keeps-
76ers,
and Philly probably
what is
still wants
Randall
to-
doing for me?
They still want to be competitive. Randall's going to keep you competitive.
and the
the
only
playoffs.
we're
reason
not
that
saying
works
the
out is for
Sixers-
the money.
We're not saying the Sixers would accept it. All I'm saying is this. For one,
You got to remember, they don't have their picks.
Immanuel Quickley was the valuable piece that was
unprotected.
moved.
It's all swaps and
When the Knicks were trying to go get Donovan Mitchell from the Utah Jazz, I think part of the reason we didn't get the trade done was because Danny Ainge was being stubborn. I think a big part of it was because Danny Ainge was like, RJ Barrett, no, I don't want him. He is viewed as a negative asset. This is what I'm trying to say. Immanuel Quickley is the one.
We're not
that
really
is
talking
valuable.
about RJ.
I would say
We're not really talking
It's
about
just
RJ.
Immanuel Quickley. So if you're Danny Ainge, he took the Cavs offer because he believed, even with the Lauri Markkanen that was unproven, was better than an IQ RJ and
probably
Grimes
cooked.
package.
And
did cook.
that's when you just need to give a tip of the cap.
Mitchell
to
could
Danny
that's
also
what I'm
become
saying.
available in the summer.
That's what I'm saying. Though right now, I think that, and this is a thing that a lot of Knicks fans were victim of doing, they overvalued the pieces for a trade, right? I think RJ Barrett was overvalued because teams around the league don't value him. Immanuel Quickley is valuable, but how valuable is another question. I think he is valuable. And then Quentin Grimes was still somebody that's unproven. The Knicks right now don't have legitimate trade pieces that are valuable. We don't have, like the Lakers did when traded for Anthony. We don't have Brandon Ingram. We don't have the idea of Lonzo Ball, who when healthy is a great player. We didn't have a Kuzma either, like who got that much hype. Like we don't have that.
Hypothetically speaking, let's just speak hypothetically here. If IQ turns into what Tyrese Maxey is this season, if you're the Knicks, you're happy with that? After this trade.
It was never going to happen with them. So what can they do?
But
that doesn't change the
can we
fact
just?
that
It does
you-
not.
yeah,
It does
like-
not.
Okay, this is what
Like Jalen Brunson walking from the Mavericks. If you're the Mavericks, you're happy. You're not.
Well, now that they got Kyrie, it is what it is.
I get it, but you understand what I mean. The way that Brunson has emerged.
What other team? Because this is boggling my mind that I keep thinking Quickley can just go to anywhere and be this.
With opportunity.
Let's say,
So long as opportunity
what
is
other
there.
team was hypothetically giving him that opportunity outside of Toronto? You can't think of many, and the reason why you can't think of many is
that's
because
not
it
true.
wasn't
He could've
reality.
gone to the any bottom
He
feeder.
couldn't
Let's
go to
look
the
at teams.
Pistons.
Let's look
He
at
couldn't
teams.
go to the Pistons.
Let's look at
Cade is
teams.
getting the ball all the time. He wasn't getting that opportunity.
There needs to be someone other than K that's handling the ball.
He wasn't going to be Tyrese Maxey over there.
Well, Tyrese Maxey
Let me
now
name
has
teams.
this opportunity.
Let me name teams.
Because he's number one guard.
The Timberwolves,
No,
the Thunder,
no,
the Nuggets,
no,
the Clippers,
no,
the Kings,
no,
the Mavericks,
no,
The Pelicans.
No.
The Lakers.
No.
The Pelicans would work.
The Suns.
He would come off the bench.
No, for the Lakers, he probably would start.
I think he worked for the Pels.
I mean, you're talking about Tyrese Maxey.
You're talking about being a star.
Okay, but even still, we saw Austin Reeves. Fair. You said Tyrese Maxey, and I said Tyrese Maxey. You're right. I said Tyrese Maxey.
I'll give you even below that.
I think we saw Reeves as a number 3 still get insane love.
But he'll be the number 3 guy for the Pels.
How much longer is Zion?
We'll keep going. The Rockets.
Could be a BI and
yes.
You just
with
signed
Fred VanVleet
Yeah,
there?
you signed Fred.
They value Amon more than Quickley. No.
As they should.
They just used the number 4 pick on him.
The Warriors.
No.
The Jazz.
Better than Chris Paul.
But he'll be a bench player.
I think the Jazz is one of those teams.
Yes.
The Jazz is perfect.
Name any bottom feeder.
They didn't even
any
get
bottom feeder. The answer.
Okay.
Like he would have went to the Spurs. It would have been up and stuck.
That would have been good.
Well, the Grizzlies. No.
No.
Because right now they're one of the worst teams in the NBA.
Even though they could use a boost offensively.
But that's not.
They have Josh.
We talking about starters.
player.
The Trailblazers.
No, they have 3
now
guards.
So in the West, it's 2 teams. It's the Jazz
coming on.
and it's the Spurs. So let's keep in mind the
And
teams
the
that we're
Jazz
naming.
did not care for that deal.
Okay, the Jazz and the Spurs. Eastern Conference. Celtics. No. Bucks.
Just head to the bottom, Brody.
Sixers.
No.
Heat. The Magic.
Miami would work.
Heat would most
Miami would
definitely
work.
work.
Yes.
On the
Tyler
Magic,
Hero's been awesome though.
On the Magic, does he start over Jalen Suggs?
No.
Does he start over
I
Anthony
think on the
Black?
Magic, if I'm the Magic, I would love that too.
I would too.
Gives
But
you defense
Jalen
and you
Suggs-
get some high level
Jalen Suggs is
scoring.
really good for them.
He has been, but at the same
I
time,
think he'll be all right.
the
I don't think
offensive
star though.
fair.
I don't
the
think they
offensive
would-
ceiling for
Yeah,
Quickley's
it's,
higher.
it's so much higher. But they wouldn't trade for IQ and be like, you're the starter after what they're doing.
It's like Magic fans.
They just drafted Black too.
In
Why would
fact,
they?
That's true,
It would
but
be a little-
offensively,
it'd be a little
his
crowded.
game is a work in progress.
It wouldn't make sense. They don't want to bring in another guard. They just paid Cole Anthony and they just drafted Anthony.
I don't
Black.
know.
They could
if
use another. They could use a guard that comes.
They
and score the
definitely
ball.
could use a guard.
But who
are they going to give up?
We're going away from the initial point. The initial point was where could IQ go and have the opportunity of a Tyrese Maxey to now take this type of leap.
Even
I think
just
with the
last year,
Magic, it's
Tyrese
not.
I'm
Maxey,
saying
I
last year's Tyrese Maxey.
I don't even see him getting that opportunity with Orlando. They're going to run the offense through Boncaro and Wagner. That's just what it's going to be.
I agree. The Cavaliers.
No.
See, you say that with Wagner. I apologize. I still think the answer would be no. For Wagner and for Boncaro, we saw Tyrese Maxey as the number 3 be able to still get his.
Playing off a playmaker. He was playing off of James Harden. James Harden was able to do that. Neither one of them are playmakers like James Harden. So
Well,
it's
Quickley
different.
probably would have the ball in his.
He would be the playmaker. He's not
He'd be
that
the
good of a
initiator, yeah.
playmaker.
The Pacers.
No.
No.
The Nets.
On the
The Nets, yeah, that would be cool.
on the Pacers, he would be a great fit for them, though. Obviously, for his great 3-point shooting, they play with a lot
And
of
he plays
pace. That'd be
defense.
awesome.
Yeah, he'd be a great fit.
Yes.
He'd be a great fit for a lot of these teams in the role he's in
Okay,
currently.
let's just say the Pacers, right?
I like that one.
the Bulls. Kobe White or him? I mean, Kobe White's playing.
Kobe White's on a cheaper deal.
Yeah, he's
that's
on
all
a
I'm
heater.
saying.
But so Quickley's going to get paid.
bags.
Yeah. I like it on the Bulls, too. I would say yes.
Yeah, I would say yes.
I don't know.
I mean,
Kobe's been crazy, though.
I don't like starting Kobe and Quickley.
I'm just gonna let you guys say the Bulls. Okay, so the Hawks, no, the Hornets.
It's so hard to.
Not with LaMelo healthy.
Not with LaMelo. I think the fit would be okay.
Need
Next to
talent
LaMelo,
on the
like-
Hornets, man.
But I don't with LaMelo there. He wouldn't
It's like
turn
look
into,
at what Terry Rozier's doing.
Yeah, trolling.
Wait, okay, so if you LaMelo and Rozier, IQ's not getting that opportunity with the Hornets.
I understand, but Rozier at the same time,
So,
it's
yeah,
like,
Rozier-
hey,
Rozier's a
he's
better
late
player
20s.
than Immanuel Quickley. No. Rozier's been
playing-
awesome
he's
this
been
year.
playing
he has
very
been
well.
I know, but it's just
Oh
the
my
role
God.
he's
This
in
what?
with the
This
team
is
he's
serious,
in.
guys.
IQ's
we're
so
stretching
young.
it. We're
What
stretching
are we
it.
doing?
Like, bro, IQ's
He's
going to
a
go to
young-ass
Toronto, and I think
player.
we're going to say he's better than Terry Rozier.
Oh, I didn't entertain that. What I was saying is we're trolling with the names. Like there's not many teams that's going to give him Tyrese Maxey opportunities.
And that's what this initial conversation
It's
was
just
with
not.
the teams. Wait, Terry Rozier's
Terry's been awesome.
24 and
Yeah.
7.
He's been OD.
I mean,
But he's the best player on their team.
I was going to say, and LaMelo's
right?
been
He also
hurt.
get
Yeah,
the ball a shit ton of
even
times.
with LaMelo, though,
I don't want to say I'm guaranteeing that Quickley can do that, but
he's-
he can get to 23
put
points
up
per
23
game.
and 5
That's
He's
what he
still
did
gonna
last
play
year as a
defense
starter.
No, I'm not-
in Charlotte. That's the thing.
No.
wait, okay,
I wouldn't.
I agree. I think
I wouldn't
Quickley can
either.
get to those points. Even when Rozier was playing with LaMelo, though, he's averaging 20. I just want to say that. So the team, we still got some teams left. The Wizards
Sure.
Yes, most definitely.
That's probably the one we can.
and the
have fun.
Pistons.
Yes.
Okay, so
No.
Saying yes.
Pistons?
Because it would not
You need
hurt to have
talents.
another. Exactly.
Okay.
And you need to stretch. And and that's
And you need
exactly what
shooting.
he can
before
do.
you go, Rip,
No,
before you
because
go.
they
But Rip,
keep
what's wrong with
playing
that?
from the point.
What's wrong with that? You need
said
shooting. He
you
can
guys
get his.
going away from
You
the
guys
point.
are going away from the point. Will he fit on all these teams? 100%. Will he get maxi opportunity?
Who else on the
No.
Pistons going to man the ball outside of Cade?
Just
Cade
Cade.
literally gets a 98 percentile usage rate. Monty
But
Williams
that's
cannot
not
coach.
what you need.
You're putting him in a
That's not
position
what
where
you
Monty
need.
Williams cannot
more
coach.
than
But
one
is that what
person
you
can
need?
put up
more
numbers.
than one person can handle
trust-
the
yeah,
ball.
trust-
Dodgers has a 100% usage rate.
Dells,
Kyrie still gets
Dells,
his.
how many Piston games have you watched?
I watched it against Celtics.
Do you trust Monty to put Quickley in position to succeed?
I don't trust Monty at all.
I'm gonna tell you a stat. Asar Thompson doesn't. He's a spot up shooter. That's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. Y'all not listening. Y'all just talking. I'm trying to explain to y'all.
Well,
that's
Well,
not
you
gonna
said
work.
opportunity.
Well,
No, the opportunity won't be because Monty's a terrible coach.
I'm not going to agree with
Tyrese
that. Just
Maxey's
because
getting
he's
his
a bad
opportunity
coach.
because
not a good coach.
I agree.
Tyrese Maxey's the lead ball handler with the Sixers right now. That's why he's
As he
getting an
should be,
opportunity.
correct.
What Rivers saying is that in the Pistons he would not be. He would not be the lead ball handler over Cade.
Never.
IQ would get opportunity, but he would not be the lead guy like Tyrese Maxey is the lead guy with the Sixers right now. So ultimately, we named like 4 teams that IQ would actually get that opportunity on. So let's just say with the Jazz, do the Jazz have anything the Knicks want to get in a trade? Outside of Lauri Markkanen, and if it is Lauri,
That's what you should have done.
Shit, bro.
Yeah, but that
was
would
gonna
have
say, I'd rather
been more
have
expensive.
Lauri.
the
It
Jazz
would have been
not
expensive.
trading Lauri for IQ
No,
and RJ.
no.
That was not happening. So there was
It would have been IQ and picks, though.
yeah,
If Lauri's
it would've been
going to get
IQ and
traded,
picks,
like,
yeah.
he's
I
going to
think
get picks from a young
I think
player.
the Jazz
They
would.
might have done that deal.
I think the Jazz would. No, they would not.
They might have.
No, they would not.
IQ and RJ and picks wouldn't have gotten Lauri.
Hell no.
What's the Lauri package?
I'm just saying the
What's the
picks.
Lauri package?
They
Lauri
want 4 to
package?
5 picks.
No, they want. I thought it was 3
No,
first.
they want like 3 to 4 first round
Okay,
picks.
but
and
what's-
young players.
Okay, what's the young player
Why
that's
isn't
equal
IQ
to
that
or better
answer?
than IQ with the Knicks that you could also give picks to?
Say that one more time.
What's the package out there, right? If we're saying the Knicks package is IQ and draft picks, what other package out there that has the equally good young player plus the draft picks?
OKC. OKC can produce it.
Who's the young player?
You could probably throw in Giddey.
Who wants Giddy right now?
You could
Giddey,
throw, you
talk
could throw
about
in
negative
Case and
asset.
Wallace.
Okay.
Oh my God,
Who's a
Casey
much
getting
more
traded?
intriguing prospect than both of
I
them.
wouldn't want to trade.
Well, I don't know.
I'm just saying,
I don't know if
you
Thunder's
can-
moving them.
And you can throw
Moving
in,
him
and
out.
OKC has so many
Listen,
picks.
at the end,
you can throw in
at
anything
the,
at that
the
point.
end of the day, the Jazz were not doing that move because they would have to pay IQ, and I am just under the belief they'd rather see it out with Keontae George. They just drafted Keontae George.
That's true.
Keontae George has been starting for them. I mean, why would they just say IQ's coming in? We're going to give him a deal after this summer, and Keontae George, the guy we just drafted, we're going to move you to the bench. I think they're high on Keontae George, and I think Keontae George has a similar skill set to IQ too, who we can develop into an awesome scorer.
IQ's proved it though. You
IQ's
he's
been-
improved it, but he's a rookie.
He's been super efficient.
And
super
with the
efficient.
Spurs, yes, I think IQ would be a great
Yes,
fit.
most definitely.
What do the Spurs have that the Knicks could trade for that would actually be a good deal for the Knicks in return?
Yeah, they don't.
It wouldn't be Keldon Johnson. It wouldn't be Devin Vassell either. I don't think Devin Vassell doesn't
way
move it
rather
for
have
me.
OG. Yeah, it's not close.
So we're talking about these teams that would give IQ this role. They don't have much to trade the Knicks.
Losing IQ is a big deal. The bigger deal is the financial status for the Knicks when Brunson and Randall have their player option come
Why-
out.
And you
It
got
was
the-
gonna
and you gotta
be-
extend OG.
Because
Big deal is
OG is going to probably get 30 to 35 mil.
Question. 30 to 35 mil. RJ's making 25 mil next year. He's going to make 25 to 29 mil until 2027.
Cool.
Emmanuel Quickley, if we signed him, 20 mil minimum, right? So that
Correct.
means we're giving RJ and IQ 45 million. That's more than we're giving OG. We still be in a financial hole regardless, either or, both situations.
But the thing is, let's say what I think the floor, the absolute floor for OG would be 30 million. Because there's a chance he probably makes all NBA defense. There you go. You have to pay him a little bit more money than what you want.
Even then, the combined
initially.
contracts of RJ and Quickley would be more than what we'd give OG. And RJ has become a player that is unplayable in closing lineups for us. He's a career low in minutes per game. I'm done with the idea of RJ Barrett. He's a negative
played
asset.
very well against the Cavs. He really did.
I
He
get
played
moving
very
off.
well
I
against
I
the
get
Cavs.
moving off RJ. I hope he succeeds in Toronto. He's gonna have a chance to.
All I'm saying is that regardless of if we kept IQ and RJ or we got OG, this financial hole that we're in was going to happen regardless. So I'd rather get a wing defender and put us one step closer than to keep RJ and then pay a backup point guard.
Shit, man,
because
I
at the end of the day, IQ, that's what he was going to be.
I would have rather
I
gave up
think
a first
he's better
or
than
two.
that. And I'm very happy for IQ. I hope he does well with the Raptors. With the Knicks, he was going to be a backup.
What's the championship window for the Knicks? Just out of curiosity, like how many years?
I don't know.
Next 3 years.
I would rather have used a couple first round picks, kept IQ, and have him be my microwave off the bench when I'm trying to make a championship run
Crazy.
in a year.
Why?
You need the first for a star.
They have a plethora of first round picks.
Am I not mistaken?
Just keep those?
Tell me if I'm wrong.
Keep the best
Who do
player
you
in
think
IQ.
Immanuel Quickley is?
I think he would be very valuable for this Knicks
He was
team.
number 2 and sixth man of the year.
Like, who do y'all think?
He's one of the
This is a
best
question
six
for
men
all y'all.
off the bench.
Okay, but
He
like,
won sixth man of the year last year.
do y'all not understand that OG Anunoby is one of the best
No, he's
3-and-D
great.
players?
He's great.
You not know that's more valuable
but
than
Riv,
what Quickley
Riv,
provides.
But
right?
if they're trying to compete, why don't you use the draft picks
What's
to
more
keep the player?
in a competitive standpoint? What's more valuable? What OG
second
brings you, or
round
what
pick?
Quickley brings you?
No, I'm saying first. I'm saying I would have rather kept IQ and used the first or however many would
Have I
taken
said
to
at
equal
all
IQ.
in this conversation that it's a bad fit for OG Anunoby on the
I think
Knicks?
it's a great
No,
fit.
I was talking
No,
about
but the
it's
way
a
y'all
great
talking,
fit.
y'all talking like the Knicks, like giving up IQ was some.
He's a
like,
young
huge
player.
thing.
I look like the team. Now you're going to trade for a star. I mean, listen, depth isn't what gets you to a championship. You need the superstar, but IQ was so valuable. Like, I just feel like you're kind of glossing over the fact, like, how good he
We're
was for
not.
y'all.
We're not. What's harder to find in the NBA right now? An elite defensive player or a six man?
Elite defensive player.
That's it.
What's more
That's
important?
Well, who could also shoot.
An elite defensive player that can shoot the ball, or what?
No,
Quickley
OG's an
provides.
awesome asset
He's way
to
more
have.
Yeah,
valuable.
but I'm not trying to compare
It's
IQ
the
to
money.
OG. I'm really
You're
not.
trying to say they could have got more.
You're trying
I
to say it's
understand
the
that.
money, but I already
No, I'm
explained to you,
trying to say I
regardless,
would've
in
rather
this
kept
scenario,
IQ
we would
and
have
used
to
one of those
pay.
cap
So
picks I
let's,
had.
let's play this little hypothetical world. Let's say, for example, they threw a pick out. They kept IQ. Now you have IQ in the roster. Tibbs is still doing the same bullshit he's going to continue
That's a
doing.
separate issue.
No, but that's why that was one of the reasons he was moved. Tibbs, and then let's say,
But you hear me, Riv? Like, you shouldn't devalue just because your coach
okay.
is
So let's say,
using
for
him.
example, he stays, and they pay him. What he's supposed to be a part of a deal to get a star, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's say since they paid him, they cannot move him until a certain time point next offseason. Right. And now that star is available. He wants to go, but now you cannot add Quickley in the deal. Now who are you going to add? Just Grimes and what?
Well, I mean, you have the same issue now. Like, you're not going to use OG in a deal.
But now you can use Grimes, who you still have, and another big contract. Before it was, if you keep Quickley,
you still could. If you would have kept IQ, you still could use Grimes.
But you keep Quickley, and you still have the same issues on the court. Tibbs are still going to treat him that way.
I love Quickley, and I hate that I'm about to do this. But why are we acting like he's the second best player on the championship team or something? He's not even a
What do you
third
mean?
or
We're
fourth.
just, we're just valuing a young player that you guys have.
Y'all banking more on the
what's the ceiling?
potential than he actually is
What's
right
the
now.
ceiling?
Maxey. That's a ceiling.
Maxey
No,
right
he's
now?
not.
That's the
That's a
ceiling.
ceiling.
You guys are
No,
guessing.
he's not. They are guessing.
Wow.
That's
He's
not his
he's
ceiling.
already guessing.
He averaged
He's a-
23
he's a
and 5
great
on
efficient
60% true
scorer.
shooting
How many
at
games?
23 games.
23 games?
I'm at 22
Last
years
year.
old.
Yes.
Yes.
Last year. Okay.
That's great.
Okay. That's amazing.
That's really good.
23 what?
23, 5 and 5 on 60% true
That's
shooting.
great. 23 games.
Quickly, 24, by the way.
24.
He's 24 years
So
old.
that's-
That's
23
that's
years
still
old.
a
I
young.
apologize.
That's a young
insanely
player,
young.
but let's not.
That's good.
For one,
I'm not.
okay.
I'm not. That's really good.
This is what I want to say.
What's their record?
I hate I got to do this to Quickly. Listen to
Without
this.
Brunson, to be fair.
Listen to these stats. Last playoffs, 9
He was not
points,
good.
1 rebound, 1.6 assists.
Everyone in the Knicks fucking
shot 34% from the field and 24% from three.
He had a bad series.
Let's not
Very
act,
bad.
He had two
Very
bad
bad.
series. Let's not act like he was giving us a huge uplift in the playoffs. I'd rather have OG's defense than what Quickly
He's a
gave me
young
here.
player.
You're missing the point. I'm not saying you don't get OG because you have to give up IQ. I'm saying I rather would have kept IQ and used some of those draft picks you have because you got fucking a ton.
Wait, so you're saying you'd rather us trade draft picks?
You said how
to
many
get OG
first-
instead of IQ?
How many
That's what you're
first?
saying.
How
Because
many
you said
firsts-
IQ is worth 1 first.
Correct. That's what I thought you said.
I
as
would
well.
rather give that random
One
first. than
first,
kept
RJ
IQ.
first.
Okay, but you guys are now under the assumption the Raptors would have accepted it.